Last week, the star of Disney's upcoming live-action Snow White, Rachel Zegler, decided to make headlines yet again for all the wrong reasons, this time because she was so upset with the results of the US presidential election that she decided to go to her own personal Instagram account and attack fans. I'm sure a lot of people are already aware of that. I made a video about it at the time, basically saying that it was kind of a stupid move for her to make, basically trying to alienate over half of the paying customer, especially since the budget for the upcoming live-action Snow White is reported to be so high, the movie probably needs to make around $800 million at the global box office in order to just break even. So with something like that, you really can't afford to alienate large sections of the audience. But still, she made her statements, and I think Disney executives were pretty much upset with her for that. So they got a hold of her and said, like, you need to do something fast in order to try to calm the waters on this one. So as a result, she put out a statement. But before we get into that, let's look at this article from Bowden in the comments talking about the initial statements that she made that kind of caused all this controversy, and then the apology, or the so-called apology, she made afterwards. Disney Snow White star Rachel Zegler offers public apology after calling for Donald Trump and his supporters to never know peace. Says she let my emotions get the best of me. Well, obviously, that's putting it lightly. She took it pretty seriously, because the tirade she went on her Instagram story, I would say, just kind of comes across as a bit unhinged. As previously reported, on November 12th, the actor took to her personal Instagram account to share a number of posts to the site's auto-deleting story features, expressing her disdain towards Trump's victory in the recent 2024 U.S. presidential election. And they have a transcript here of all the posts that she made, because it was, I believe, like 4 or 5 different posts that she made in their stories. The transcript here, I'm not necessarily going to go from that, because there's something with the punctuation within this transcript that it doesn't really quite capture in it. That's why I have this article from That Park Place that shows everything, actual screen grabs from it. So here's just the first one. I'm not going to go into all of them though, but I'll leave a link to this article in the description of the video if you want to check it out yourself. But here's what she says. I find myself speechless in the midst of this, another 4 years of hatred, leading us towards a world I do not want to live in, leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in, leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want, leading us towards a world that is fearful. Oh, and for the record, she actually doesn't have a daughter. I don't know why she's speaking like this. I mean, in hypothetical, but whatever, it is what it is. I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. And she is very melodramatic with this post here. I echo Ethel Kane's statements more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Okay, that's not really a nice thing to say. And then it kind of ends like this. The other 2 posts, she just kind of rambles on like that. But look at the end of this. I will love through these 4 years as best I can. F Donald Trump. I just love the juxtaposition of those 2 statements, one after the other like that. It just goes to show, like, yeah, she's clearly just emotional and angry with all that going on right there. But that's not really a smart thing to say in this current environment, because, well, obviously she's the face of a major film that's going to be coming up. Disney needs a lot of money, and Donald Trump won the popular vote. So you don't want to risk alienating over half the audience as a result of just being upset. So after that, I think it was like a day or so later, she issued this statement, or she posted it on her Instagram account, just like she made those initial statements. And this is what it says. Hi, everyone. I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared on my Instagram last week. I let my emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding, and I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. This week has been emotional for so many of us, but I firmly believe that everyone has the right to their opinion, even when it differs from my own. I am committed to contributing positivity towards a better tomorrow. Now, right off the bat, this feels like it's a canned response. There's really nothing in here that addresses what she actually said or the pushback that she got as a result of her statements that she initially made. This feels like something You know how if you're looking at greeting cards at the store, they have them for different occasions. Like this is for a woman's birthday, your mom's birthday, your grandma's birthday. This is for a baby shower, whatever. You get the idea. There's all these different cards for different occasions. This feels like something that a PR firm would actually have on hand, where they just have all these canned responses like, okay, you made disparaging remarks against the audience or something like that, or whatever. You get the idea that this is just something that they said, you need to put this out, whether it was Rachel Zegler saying, I should probably issue an apology. She asked her publicist what to do when they gave her this. But I'm thinking more than likely, this was probably Disney executives saying, you need to do something to fix this because you're the face of a major movie that we're producing, and we don't want to have half the paying customer base alienated. And another reason why I think that is also a post that she made on her TikTok account prior to the election, where she was urging people to vote Kamala Harris. And just look at the way this ends. Just kind of skip through.
Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks. I don't think I've...
So she says, if you disagree with me telling you who to vote for, or if you don't agree with voting for Kamala Harris, then unfollow because I don't need your business. Well, that might seem fine on TikTok, but it's not necessarily just her business. Like I said, she's the face of the upcoming Disney movie. So saying, I don't need your business is basically saying, don't come support my movie. And Disney executives are probably looking at that and it's like, no, we very much want your business. Because you got to keep in mind, it's not necessarily her movie. Like it's her movie and that she's starring in it. But she was basically just someone hired to do a job on the movie. And then that's kind of it. But since she's the star of it, she's also the one who represents the movie. And if she has a kind of tries to alienate the audience like this, well, then a lot of people will be like, well, then I'm not going to support that movie. And Disney is probably looking at this and thinking, no, this is a bad look for us. I mean, this obviously happened before the election, but then after the election, things kind of changed a bit. So I think that's why Disney executives got a hold of her. This is my personal opinion. We don't know anything about it. Like I said, it could have been Rachel Zegler herself decided to make that apology. And she decided to do things in a different manner because one of the things when it comes to the initial statements that she makes, notice how she never capitalizes anything, even the letter I's when she's referring to herself or the first word of a sentence, not capitalize anything. But when it comes to the apology that she put out, it has proper punctuation, capitalized the I here, the I in Instagram, the I if it's the start of a paragraph. That's one reason why I think this was something that was written by someone else, because it just doesn't seem to match with what she's doing. Maybe because it's an apology, she decided to be a little bit more formal with the way she was writing it, but I don't think she would change how she's always done things just for this one circumstances. And then when you couple this with the fact that she was basically in her TikTok post saying like, yeah, I'm fine if people don't agree with me to not support my movies, because even if she didn't say that, that's what it kind of boils down to. Disney got a hold of her and said, we need you to apologize. And this wouldn't be out of the ordinary for Disney. Gina Carano herself, after she made her post that got her fired, before she was fired, she said Disney told her to apologize. And this is her response. She said in a recent interview, according to Carano, she was asked to issue out an apology by Disney, at which point she told company execs in an email, I don't worship your business, and I have done plenty wrong in my life that I will need to account for and I will need to apologize for. But at this moment, I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm not going to put out one of these fake apologies that you have everybody else put out that mean nothing, that degrade them, that take away from their words. And I think this is probably, at least to me, this seems pretty normal for a company like Disney, where if you have a person who is a face of your company or represents your company, saying something that can possibly turn off the paying customer base, well, yeah, you would tell the employee, it's like, you need to issue out an apology as a result of all this. So it seems like Rachel Zegler decided to just be like, okay, fine, I'll issue the apology or I'll post the apology and just kind of leave it at that. Gina Carano didn't do that. And that's one of the reasons probably why she got fired. But still, this isn't a good look for Rachel Zegler, because even if this apology was sincere on her part, it doesn't feel like it's sincere. It does feel like it's a canned response, kind of like, I'm sorry, you're upset sort of thing. Like, no one really takes her seriously when it comes to this one, because she really hasn't earned that trust with the audience. Everything that she's been saying up to this point has basically just been attacking people who disagree with her. But I think since the election, we saw kind of a shift in culture. It's only been a couple of weeks, but it feels like a lot of studios in Hollywood are starting to wake up to the idea that half the audience don't agree with the political agenda that they've been trying to push, and they're trying to change course. And this is kind of the first step to this. Rachel Zegler isn't necessarily like a lot of these companies who are just doing what they can for money. I think she's a true believer in this cause. Yes, she will toe the line if she has to, but I think she still is a firm believer in this kind of like an old way of thinking of a cultural experiment, let's put it that way, that we found out is failing. And I think if she continues along this line, she's probably going to have a hard time finding work in the future, because many studios will probably just figure she's not a good enough actress to justify all the baggage that she believes or brings to the role. Or maybe she will turn things around, or maybe there will be some studios be like, yeah, we're still firm believers in this, so we'll continue to hire her. I don't know what's in store for her, but right now, with the way things are looking, it's not looking like it's a promising future for her. And I believe she's only 23 years old, and with the way she's been acting, she might have killed her career before she even really got it off the ground. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Do you think that was actually her apology? Do you think it was Disney or her own PR firms that caused her to issue that apology? Let me know in the comment section. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.